Djed Spence'S family has publicly blasted Thomas Tuchel for leaving the defender on the bench despite his heroic performance at the Azteca stadium, creating a damaging rift just days before England's World Cup opener against Serbia. This wasn't just some private frustration leaked accidentally. This wasn't a misunderstanding taken out of context. This wasn't the media twisting words. This is serious. Nothing like this has ever been seen days before the start of a World Cup. And there's a detail the FA still hasn't confirmed publicly. Sources claim Djed Spence'S family had a group chat running during that infamous Mexico City qualifier, celebrating every tackle, every defensive action, calling for him to start the tournament weeks before Tuchel made his decision, and the worst still hasn't come out. Over the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly what happened and why this turns England's World Cup upside down. When this happens, days before a World Cup opener at SoFi Stadium, it's not just another dressing room disagreement. This is bigger than anyone expected. Thomas Tuchel now has to manage a public family controversy, a divided squad, and questions about whether loyalty trumps merit in his selection process. England face Serbia on June 14th, and behind the scenes, it's worse than it looks. Here's what happened. Late Tuesday night at England's training base in Irvine, California, Djed Spence was called into Tuchel's office after dinner. According to sources close to the squad, the manager told him he would not start the opener. Spence allegedly asked directly if the Azteca performance counted for nothing. Tuchel reportedly paused, then said he trusted Trent Alexander-Arnold's experience in tournament knockout pressure. Spence nodded, said nothing more, and left. Minutes later, his phone buzzed. His brother had already posted. The message, according to reports circulating online before it was deleted within an hour, reportedly called the decision a disgrace and stated the family feels Djed was used and discarded. Screenshots spread across fan forums and football media like wildfire. By morning, the entire England squad knew. At breakfast, Declan Rice allegedly sat beside Spence, but the defender barely spoke. Trent Alexander-Arnold entered the dining hall last, scanned the room, and took a seat at the opposite end. But to understand why this matters, you need to know what came before. Djed Spence had been England's fourth-choice right-back for most of qualifying, behind Reece James, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Tino Livramento. When England traveled to Mexico City needing at least a draw, Tuchel started Livramento, who was overrun in the first half. Spence's introduction at halftime changed the match. He locked down the flank, won crucial duels, and his overlapping run created the assist for Harry Kane's equalizer in the 2-2 draw that secured England's World Cup spot. Fans and pundits expected that performance to elevate him. Instead, Tuchel kept Trent as first choice throughout June's warm-up friendlies. Spence started only once, against Ecuador, and was substituted at halftime. And hold on, because the most controversial detail I've saved for the end. Sources claim Spence's brother was sitting in the stands at the Azteca and filmed the second-half performance on his phone, footage that allegedly shows every defensive action Djed Spence made, which the family believes proves his case. The dressing room is divided. Younger players, including Kobbie Mainoo and Morgan Rogers, reportedly feel Spence was hard done by and question whether one heroic display will ever be enough to break through. Senior players like Declan Rice and Jordan Pickford have stayed publicly neutral, but are said to privately support Tuchel's pragmatism. The FA released a bland statement emphasizing unity, but insiders suggest they are deeply concerned about the timing and public nature of the family's criticism. Fans are split. Some echo the family's frustration, citing Spence's Azteca heroics. Others argue tournaments are won with proven experience, not sentiment. Social media erupted overnight. The English press has amplified the rift, with tabloids running headlines about Tuchel losing the dressing room before a ball is kicked. And the clock is ticking. England face Serbia at SoFi Stadium in less than 48 hours. Now Thomas Tuchel is caught between two bad decisions. If he caves to public pressure and starts Djed Spence, he risks undermining his own authority and alienating Trent Alexander-Arnold, whose set-piece delivery could be vital against Serbia's deep block. But if he ignores the outcry, he risks losing the dressing room's belief that performance on the pitch will be rewarded. Either choice could fracture squad morale before the tournament even begins. Fresh reports suggest Djed Spence recorded a voice note to a teammate expressing his frustration, which has not yet been leaked but could surface if tensions escalate. If England loses or concedes down the right flank against Serbia, the Spence decision will dominate every post-match analysis. This is the weight of one family's public frustration colliding with a manager's authority days before a World Cup. And look, this is far from over. This is the information circulating so far. Over the next few hours, new details should trickle out, and they could turn this whole story upside down. So for you, should Tuchel have rewarded Spence'S Azteca heroics with a starting spot? Or does tournament experience justify keeping Trent Alexander-Arnold in the team? Let us know in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss the next major development, subscribe now and turn on notifications, because when this fully breaks, you'll want to be the first to know, not the last.